Welcome back, Tanner Walker, Hybrid Movement Practice. Today, I'm answering a question from Hayden on how do I approach recovery, the recovery cycle, and what works well for me. So, I like to start just with my kind of overarching principles that I like to work with in my mind. Yin and yang, right? Can I start to balance out not only my training, right, or everything that I'm kind of focusing on and moving towards in life, right, with my recovery, right, and ability to chill out and enjoy it, etc. So the yin, the recovery side that if you love training, is probably the biggest lever to work on. I start with the basic that we all know. It's not new, but for whatever reason, right, we still struggle with, and that's sleep. So for me, sleep is the biggest lever for me. I sleep great. I have great quality sleep. I pass out right away. I sleep hard. And I wake up feeling great when I have enough. So for me, it's a quantity thing. 7.5 to 8, I'm feeling pretty good. If I'm 8.5, I'm going 100 miles an hour out of bed. That was like more than enough for me. So I think total is totally individual. It's not a hard rule there, but it's figuring out for you how much sleep you need, and then how do you win that sleep game every day. So for me, I love waking up early. Getting up early is not the problem. For me, getting enough sleep is on the front side, making sure I go to bed at a reasonable time. Back to this yin-yang, if you think of kind of the more yang is this dopamine, acetylcholine, like your drive, focus, right? If you like learning, so you're on YouTube late at night, right? Or etc. There's a lot of things that keep us awake. For me, I need to have hard rules and set strategies so that I go to bed, that I have a strategy to be in bed. Otherwise, that yang just keeps going, and that has a cascading effect to where my mood's affected, my training's affected, my nutrition's, everything cascades downward. So for me, sleep is first. Second is nutrition, which is really easy if you've been sleeping well, in my opinion. I think people know nutrition. I'm not going to get into a nutrition talk right now, but matching my nutrition into my training is more of an execution thing and not a knowing what to do thing. So for me, I just have to make sure I'm executing. Executing comes back to doing the first thing, which was sleeping, which came back to the first thing before that, which was how I finished the previous day, which was all built on what I ate, how I moved through it. So sleep is one, nutrition and training are two, managing your training, right? So if you really love training, just understand you need to recover from training if you want to get better. Otherwise, you're just stimulating, right? Because you like stimulus. So that's been a big lesson for me, is realizing the difference and finding ways that I can still have a stimulus that's going to improve my yin. So learning about conditioning, a cool concept from Luke Leaman at Muscle Nerds, right, is this idea of least mode before beast mode. So if your blood pressure, right, is stage 2 hypertension, right, and your heart rate's super high and your HRV's all messed up, you probably should work on your conditioning. So what I've been doing is more conditioning, learning from Joel Jamieson, and the more Ironman part of my practice is I use a Morpheus strap sometimes. So I can take my HRV in the morning, have an idea of my sleep and my training and all that, and how my nervous system is looking that day. And for the heart rate, what's really fun, to get back to this movement, is this concept of a rebound session or a neural charge session, right, where I'm moving at a low intensity, 15 minutes to an hour, having my heart rate in that zone 1, zone 2 area, and that is going to actually help blood flow, help move lymph around, help my nervous system, right, kind of recalibrate. And for that, I love movement practice, right? We have tons of stuff we can do in movement to put us in the zone. I've just been wearing the strap because it's fun to like look and see, but it's not complicated. Just move around, shadow box, dance, locomote, dribble, soccer ball, etc. I'll make a video in the future showing what I like to do. But it's a way to play with movement, figure out how you move at a low intensity that's A, going to help you recover, but B, all of these other factors in movement that aren't necessarily going to be trained in the gym, right? Sensitivity, speed, rhythm, your connections, like how are you connecting yourself? That's a fun time to figure it all out. If there's games you like to play, pickleball, basketball, those are all great options too. So for me, lots of rebound sessions or just lots of movement sessions at low intensity to actually help my recovery. Okay, and that's probably the best, the most useful right now that I would say, because if you don't have those basics, right, if you're not moving frequently, if you don't have the nutrition or the training or the sleep, all the supplements and all the other stuff, it's the 20% versus the 80%. So what I've found that helps my recovery the best is focusing on that 80% first. Sleep, nutrition, movement, having fun. I guess this would be the last one I would add. Another thing from Luke Lehman was the idea of having a hobby or having something outside of your vocation that you enjoy so that you can have a little disconnect. So you're not always in this yang driving mode, right? But that you can sit back, serotonin, go on a walk with friends, hang out, play a board game, etc., and chill out. So the basics are the basics. You can't beat the basics. Everything else from that, supplementation, body work, massage, etc., those are all awesome, super useful, and great. But if you're sleeping 4 hours a night and you eat like shit, you're not going to be recovering. So for me, making sure my priorities, main sleep recovery tool, if I were to narrow it down to one thing, is bedtime. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully something there was helpful. If you have questions on recovery still, on anything we talked about, if you have questions on managing your training load, rebounding sessions, what that might look like, and you're interested in that, etc., just comment below. And thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.